Hello there, welcome to Critical Reviews. Today, I'm taking a look at Flow. When I saw that this film beat the rather excellent The Wild Robot to a Golden Globe recently, I knew I had to check it out. From Latvian director Gints Zabalodis, this was largely an unknown to me. I think I'd seen a poster here and there, but certainly nothing that grabbed my attention. But given that this movie has, as of a couple of hours ago, also garnered an Oscar nomination, it would seem that it is about to get a lot more headlines, which, I have to say, overall are deserved. Before I get lost in the flow, however, a spoiler-free plot summary. Flow follows the trials and tribulations of a cat that has to deal with rising water levels and other animals as it tries to survive. All of the animals will need to find their own place in this post-apocalyptic, post-human world. Now, that's a very simple synopsis for a film that is, on the surface, very simple. However, like the world of Flow itself, much lies underneath. Firstly, let's talk about the animation. Like The Wild Robot, Flow largely goes for a faux watercolour aesthetic, particularly on the animals themselves, which flow from frame to frame, rippling with a low-fidelity look. No individual rendering of hairs or fur here. Every character is rendered crudely, though effectively. And as far as characters go, there are only the animals, and they don't speak. There are vocalizations, but there is no dialogue at all in this movie, be it capybara, cat, dog, lemur, or monarch eagle. Not one of them is anthropomorphized in any way, and I found this refreshing. In The Wild Robot, although the animals do take on traits of their respective species, they are more or less just humans in animal form, voiced by humans and doing human things. Not so in Flow. These really are just animals, each acting like animals. The dogs are dumb and enthusiastic, the cat capricious and guarded, the capybara is, well, it's a capybara. And as the cast end up on a boat, floating across the water-covered landscape, they quarrel and bicker in very primitive and animal-like ways. A slight hit to the realism is that the boat isn't covered in animal crap though. Visually, despite the lo-fi approach, there is much splendour here, from the sprawling abandoned edifices of humanity to the wide seascapes and looming horizons, to the small moments of the cat underwater fishing. The film is absolutely not without its charm and beauty, helped by an understated yet evocative score, adding a little bit of tension to what is, for the most part, a rather passive affair. And, as I may have alluded, much of what is presented is done so in an abstract way. The narrative, such as it is bare bones. Character development is minimal, yet you do get the feeling that the film has purpose. Questions are posed, albeit indirectly. What happened to the people? Was it the rapture? The film does feature animals on a boat after all. And there are a few surreal moments that defy explanation and can be seen to point towards the divine. Could be a simple post-apocalyptic tale. Maybe it was aliens. Maybe it was a nuclear war. There are strange mutated whales in the waters after all. The film doesn't deign to supply explanation, only to invite conjecture, such as its nature. Abstract, barely implicit, let alone explicit about anything. And this does mean that Flow is not a journey for everyone. Kids in particular will likely bore of the infrequent antics of the animals, although the Madagascar-esque lemur might entertain them for a time. This is not a film that is loud, brash or immediate, but rather one that invites thought and speculation. It just exists. It just is. But I, for one, was quite intrigued, if not entirely absorbed. Flow washes over you gently, provoking the viewer to think about what they are watching with moments of contemplation and charm. The complete lack of any human presence is refreshing, Not for 1 second will this film preach at you or judge you. It won't attack you or make you feel guilty. It will not demand anything of you. It will just invite you to embrace as much of it as you will. Final thoughts. Having watched it, I can understand why Flow is the kind of film to garner acclaim and award buzz. For, as good as it is, The Wild Robot is still Hollywood, with Hollywood stars and a Hollywood budget, if a modest one, of $78 million. Flow is the opposite. Budget $3.8 million. The directing, writing, cinematography, editing and music all done by Zabalodis, though sometimes as a joint credit. Whereas The Last Robot was a nice animated film that explored the themes of community and motherhood, it was very straightforward, very in your face, and very much telling you exactly what it wanted you to see. Flow is more of an avant-garde, abstract piece that I think you're just going to have to watch to see if you like it. I did. Thanks for watching. I've been Critic, and I'll be back with another review soon.